I had no plan B, and honestly, I didn't want one. And if you clicked on this video, you probably don't want one either. And I know you're done playing small. You are meant for so much more than just clocking in and out of your day job every single day. And I know you have the constant nagging of feeling like you're meant for so much bigger, so much better. But how do you actually take that leap of faith when there is so much fear holding you back? And today I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it, how I went from living at my dad's house broke to building a six-figure business in only 12 months. And let me tell you, the journey was nothing like I expected. And if there's one promise I make you by the end of this video, you will know exactly how I built a six-figure business in 1 year and how you are actually so capable of doing the exact same thing. And I just want to preface by saying I did not have sales experience. I did not have a business background. I had no skills at all whatsoever. This was me just simply going for it. And before I go into all of the steps of how I actually made that happen, let's go back to where it actually all started. So I was 21 years old. I had just graduated college. I was still living at my dad's house. I was super broke, barely making like $500 a month. And I felt so lost and trapped because inside of me, I knew I had the potential for so much more, but for some reason, I just couldn't get myself to actually take the action towards it. It was like every single day I woke up with a burning desire to do more, but then of course that voice inside of my head was, you can't do it. There is no way that you can build your own business. And of course, every single night I would go to sleep with a thought in my head of, what if I never make it out of here and I'm just like 50 years old still living at my dad's house? And just let me know if you're feeling the same way right now. Comment below, let me know where you're currently at, because I know so many of you have the potential to actually change your life, to actually make more money, to actually build a business, but this is getting in your way of actually moving forward. But this was actually the craziest part. I was watching other people on social media succeed, make the money, be so fulfilled, and they would actually share their story of how they were also broke. They were living at their parents' house. They were basically where I was at years ago, but I just still didn't think it was possible for me. Even though deep down I knew if I just took that leap, if I fully went all in to start my own business, I could finally move to Florida, make my own money, and move out of my dad's house to actually honestly just like start a whole new life. And you will never guess what happened when I actually made the leap. I ended up making six figures in 12 months and then went on to make multi six figures with my own brand, with my own products, with my own business. But this wasn't just me waking up one day and then all of a sudden having a thriving business. So this is the first thing that I did to actually build a successful business. And it was first of all setting a goal for myself. And I wasn't gonna let fear dictate my future anymore. So I actually set the goal that I was going to move to Florida with my own money and have my own business. Now, this is where sometimes people set goals in the wrong way. I don't even really believe setting the goal of starting a business is actually a good goal, because in reality, the reason why you're starting a business is because you're trying to get to another goal. And back then, I once again didn't have a business background, no sales background. None of my family had their own business, so I didn't really have an emotional connection to actually taking action, to actually waking up every single morning and building my business. But I did have an emotional connection to moving out of my dad's house and going to Florida. Therefore, don't set the goal of just starting a business. Set the goal of something that you really want to do and will actually motivate you to get yourself out of the current situation you're at right now. And this can be setting the goal of a new lifestyle, desire, love, basically anything that will spark and light a fire under your booty to actually go forward and take action. Now, spoiler alert, setting the goal of moving to Florida was still not enough for me to start my own business, because setting the goal was just the beginning. I had to truly figure out what type of business, how I get the clients, how to actually make the money. So that was the real challenge, not necessarily just setting the goal. goal. And if you're a multi-passionate person like I was, I had like 20 ideas of what type of business I wanted to start, but later on in the video, I'll share how I actually narrowed it down to pick one specific business that ended up making multi-six figures. But the next thing for you after you set the goal is once again choosing the business. And the thing was, I didn't just want to start a business just to start a business and make money. I wanted to start something that was aligned to me and the values that I actually had. And if you're still watching this video, I know you're probably in the same place. You want to do something that's actually going to fulfill you, which is probably why you're even watching this in the first place, to get out of your day job. And to be honest, I spent a lot of time really thinking about what my passions were, what I was really good at, and how I could really turn that into a profitable business. And I basically ended up building an education business around my brand in the really beginning stages. Of course, I didn't have a business. I didn't know how to create content. I didn't know how to sell, but I did know how to build my own confidence and set goals and actually attain them. So that's what I did in the really beginning. I would help people reach those goals and they would pay me money. Now, of course, fast forward a few years, I teach people how to build their own personal brand and monetize it. So for you, think about all the things that you're passionate about, all the things that you're really good at, make a list and then narrow it down based on the type of lifestyle that you want to create. Don't create a business simply because you see someone else doing it and they're making millions of dollars if they don't have the lifestyle you actually want. Now, earlier I mentioned, if you're multi-passionate like me, it's really hard to pick one business that you can focus on and really build. So what I did, which was actually the third step of me taking that leap of faith to starting my own business, was finding a mentor and guidance, basically someone who has done what I wanted to do and follow in their footsteps. And to be honest, I knew I couldn't do it alone, and honestly, neither should you. When you're in a community with like-minded people, people that really get you and your crazy dreams, you just want to take like fast, big, messy action all the damn time. And my mentors helped me figure out my zone of genius, and that's how I ended up making 6 figures in 12 months. I am really, really, really good at helping people take what they're really good at, package it up into a personal brand, and start to make money from it. And honestly, if I didn't really have the guidance, I would probably still be stuck cycling through 20 different ideas of how to start a really good business. And I always say finding the right support isn't always the easiest thing. And that's why I say find someone who has done exactly what you want to do, but they also have the lifestyle that you want. If you just go after somebody who's making millions, you try to copy what they're doing, maybe you even pay them money to learn how they're doing it, but they don't have any freedom. They don't go on trips. They're basically working 24/7. Is that the lifestyle you really want? Probably not. And the reason why finding the right support is so important is because there were so many times in my journey where my close friends and family, they didn't support me. Like, they loved me, they were looking out for me because of course they wanted to keep me safe, but they didn't understand my bigness. They didn't understand my ambition. They didn't see my vision like my mentors did. And to be honest, if I did not have them, I would have wavered in my faith. And to be honest, I probably would have gone back to living my boring, same old average life. So when you're in the journey of taking this leap of faith, starting your own business, it is so important. Find a community, find a mentor. And you guys know I'm here for you. That's why I have this channel. That's why I always create these videos to really support you. And follow me on Instagram too, because I want to be your cheerleader when you're making this transition for yourself. Now, this next piece really brought everything together, and it's actually how I started this video. Finally, I didn't have a plan B. And honestly, this sounds really risky, but for me, it was like so crucial. Having no plan B meant that I was fully committed. And honestly, I had to make it work no matter what. It really pushed me to walk by faith, not by sight. Because in the really beginning, when I was starting my business, I didn't see the clients. I didn't see the money. I didn't see the success. And it was really easy for me to go back to what I was doing before. But I knew if I held my belief high, I learned, I took fast, messy action, eventually it was going to work. And spoiler alert, it actually did. And if you're still watching this, it's because you are ready to go all in too. Because let me tell you, there is something so powerful about burning the boats and going through, not looking back to your old life. And there is no turn backs to going to your old self. This is how you will actually build a real business that will not just last you a few months or a few years, but for life. And not just a business, you actually reaching your desire, you actually living the lifestyle that you've dreamt about for years. So I want you to ask yourself, are you willing to bet on yourself? Are you willing to cut the cord on that negative self-talk? Are you willing to go first? Are you willing to take action without seeing results in the beginning? Are you willing to lead with courage, because that is what your highest self is asking you to do? And are you willing to do that for yourself, not just to build a business, but to truly live your unforgettable life? And if you want to know the exact business steps I took to make 6 figures in 12 months, make sure to watch this video. I love you guys so much, and until next time, make sure that you stay unforgettable.